to partner executive arm of government on good governance. Mrs. Soludo gives reasons mothers should breastfeed their babies. Ministry of Foreign Affairs to unveil new visions for Nigeria's foreign policies. From the foreign scenes, Russia's President Putin fears arrest, addresses BRICS summit via video link. Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good evening and welcome to the evening news. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Somtochukwu Udeze, says Governor Chukwuma Soludo has continued to run a pragmatic government with a human face. Speaking to newsmen at Agolo, a Norta local government area during a two-day bi-governmental arms retreat between the executive and legislature in the state, Right Honorable Udeze noted that Governor Soludo has applied his wealth of experience in global economy and tackling prevailing economic challenges facing the masses. The Speaker, who described the palliative measures rolled out by Governor Soludo as absolute, having touched all critical sectors in the state, enjoined in Anambra to show more support to the governor. He noted that before the palliatives, Governor Soludo had increased workers' salary, embarked on massive employment, exempted artisans from payment of tax, as well as stamping practical developments in all sectors of the state economy. Right Honorable Udeze maintained that Governor Soludo's palliative measures such as salary augmentation and cash awards, tax exemptions and reductions, repair and renovation of serviceable public servant staff buses, purchase of more buses, grants to youth, distribution of bags of rice to 300,000 households in the state, among numerous others, are clear indications that he understands the hard times. The Speaker revealed that the state legislature's resolve to continue to work harmoniously with the executive arm of the government was based on Governor Soludo's frantic efforts towards the overall development of the state, as well as the well-being of the citizenry. The wife of the governor of Anambra State, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has listed numerous benefits of breastfeeding for both mothers and their babies. Mrs. Soludo, who is also the founder of Healthy Living with Nonye Soludo, said breastfeeding is essential for the overall health and wellness of both mother and baby. The governor's wife, who spoke through the wife of the Transition Committee Chairman of Oka South Local Government Area, Mrs. Esther Anago, at the World Breastfeeding Week celebration of the local government area, said breastfeeding reduces the risk of many illnesses and diseases in a newborn, pointing out that breast milk provides the perfect nutrition that contains everything a baby needs for the first 6 months of life. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike filed the report.
Mrs. Soludo noted that getting breast milk provides a lot of immediate and long-term benefits that followed the baby as they grew to become toddlers, teenagers, and adults. The Executive Secretary of Anambra State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Pharmacist Chisom Uchem, thanked the state government for the attention it has given to the health sector and Mrs. Soludo for increasing the awareness on healthy living. She commended the governor's wife for her intervention, especially in the area of cervical cancer among women, and asked all women to migrate to organic farming in order to ensure healthy living among all families in Anambra State.
The governor is someone who really loves women, and Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Nonye Chukwuma Soludo for the team of the year. This year's breastfeeding winner, Ayegenyo Mwanyala, exclusively. Chineke taking 9 months to cook this food on our breast milk.
In his welcome speech, the Transition Committee Chairman for Oka South, Mr. Thank Anago, called on mothers in all communities in the council area to return to exclusive breastfeeding, which is culturally and medically proven as the best, as its benefits are enormous but very important for a healthy family. Every year, World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated every first week of August as a global observation to raise awareness about the importance of breastfeeding and its benefits. Thus, the reason Mrs. Soludo keyed in to support and encourage breastfeeding as a vital aspect of health and well-being for both mother and child. In line with the theme of this year's celebration, let's make breastfeeding at work work. The World Health Organization (WHO) and United Nations Children's Fund (UNICEF) emphasized the need for greater breastfeeding support across all workplaces to sustain and improve progress on breastfeeding rates globally. Talks and dramas on exclusive breastfeeding was delivered at the occasion by health officers in the local government. From Amoabia, Chibuzo Bidiki, ABS News.
The Anambra State Commissioner for Local Government, Town Unions and Chieftaincy Affairs, Chief Tony Collins Wabwane, has commissioned a solar-powered water borehole at Daziani and modern car park built at the local government headquarters at Neni, built by the Transition Committee Chairman, Mr. Gerald Ozo. The event attracted members of the communities and APCA stakeholder in the council area. Valentine Mbadowa found the report.
During the commissioning, commended the Transition Committee Chairman, Mr. Ozo, for being proactive and dedicated. He said that the local government system has greatly improved under Governor Soludo to truly represent its position as the government nearest to the people.
Local government car park. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
The Transition Committee Chairman of another local government area, Mr. Ozo, reassured of delivering good governance in the council area to complement the efforts of Governor Soludo in achieving the livable and prosperous Anambra State agenda. Mr. Ozo thanked Governor Soludo for the opportunity to serve and promised greater commitment to achieving a better and more progressive Anocha through complete service to the people. A stakeholder in another local government area, Chief Cyril Okoye, in a vote of thanks, appreciated Governor Soludo for appointing people with vision to drive the solution agenda and assured the governor of the support of India Anocha and Adaziani in particular.
So now big encouragement and hope that this government will not Adaziani makes it. And we're assuring this government of Professor Soludo, no shaking.
The number one, Local Government Service Commission, Chief Azubike Okoye, the Anambra State Youth Leader of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Dr. Tochukwu Obiade, the President General of Adaziani Town Union, Barrister Ikechukwu Ezechukwu, among other stakeholders, attended the function. People of the community gathered to fetch and drink from the new borehole in excitement. From Adaziani, Valentine Bada reporting, Radio News.
The chairman, Post Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, Oka, Professor Nkechi Ikedugu, has charged information communication technology teachers in Anambra State to upgrade themselves to enable them impart the right knowledge to the students. Professor Ikedugu gave the charge during the opening ceremony of a 3-day workshop of ICT Teachers Association Anambra State Chapter held at St. John of God Secondary School, Oka. The training was facilitated by PPSSC in partnership with Platform Innovation. Professor Ikedugu emphasized the need for them to become internet savvy, as constant upgrading is needed to inspire them to teach coding, robotics and all the digital skills to the students, which will in turn provide the students with the digital skills needed for future. The education boss noted that this will also help the students to engage in subjects that may help them pursue careers in technology related fields and also make them work as teams. She further spoke on the importance of data processing and coding in the development of education in Anambra State, as well as rapidly changing and technologically advancements have become a significant aspect of man's daily lives. Professor Ikedugu commended Governor Chukwuma Soludo for promoting excellence in the education sector of Anambra State, even as she applauded the Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumaude, for her tireless efforts in pushing the ministry to its present standard. In attendance at the event were some of the PPSSC board members, who include Deputy Chairman Dr. Naomi Samuel, Member 1, Dr. Uchenna Okeke, Member 2, Dr. Bibiana Okoli, and the new PRO of the Commission, Mrs. Anne Okafo, among others. Adesa Club of Oba has organized a one-day free breast cancer screening and awareness campaign in Oba, Idemili South government area. The program, where over 200 women selected from the 9 villages in the community who were screened, was built into Oba Patriotic Union Women Wing Home and Abroad August meeting held at Oba Civic Center. Staff reporter Njideka Okoye covered exercise and now reports.
Exercise commenced. A team of doctors from the Medical Women Association of Nigeria, Anambra State branch, led by their president, Dr. Amaka Onubogo, during the awareness campaign explained that there is no definite cause of breast cancer, though there are some risk factors which include genetic, much intake of alcohol, short period of breastfeeding, lack of exercise, overweight, and hormone replacement therapy. But however said that breast cancer can still occur in the absence of these factors, and urge the women to check their breast regularly for early detection and prevention. Speaking, the president of Adese Club, Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Nwosu, represented by her vice, Mrs. Amaka Onwalo, explained that Adese Club is made up of a group of daughters of Oba and others married to Oba men, with the objective of giving back to the society and contributing to the development, progress, and well-being of Oba people.
The major aim of forming this association is to give back to Oba, that nurture those that we are married into and we're enjoying our marriages. I want to see how Oba can grow and see how there will be peace, how our children will grow and be what God wants them to be.
Ms. Onwalo listed some of the contributions of Adese Club in Oba, to include their first medical outreach, where they distributed wheelchairs, crutches, walking sticks, and other walking aids to physically challenged persons, less privileged, and the aged, skill acquisition training and empowerment of young girls, youth seminar on drug abuse, palliative during COVID-19, donation of motorcycles to Oba Vigilante Group to enhance security, and the breast cancer screening and awareness campaign, among other things. The branch manager, Access Bank Oba, who led the staff to the event, Nkechieze, stated that Access Bank sponsored the program to encourage women, adding that they are committed to partnering individuals and groups to achieve their life endeavors. Contributing, 2 members of Adese medical team, Lady Ochoba and Mrs. Ifyu Zochukwu, said that the essence of the program was to create awareness on breast cancer, screen the women, and teach them on self-examination, and advise them to go for clinical tests, urging the women to adhere to the teachings given to them and not to hide any abnormality they noticed on their body for early treatment.
Signs of this should immediately report to
I'm mad, not to Muayoba, and we go sit na breast cancer. So, Ofodo Bufana farmer, Ofodo Egado, I will say, Kayaka.
Some of the beneficiaries, Mrs. Patience Angante, Cynthia Nwachukwu, and Nkoli Ikogo, thanked members of Adese Club for opening their eyes, teaching them what they do not know, and for the free breast cancer screening, and prayed for God's blessings on them, while the new president of Oba Women Home and Abroad General Meeting, Lady Ngozi Onwoka, on behalf of the Oba women, commended the Adese Club for the kind gesture. The breast cancer screening and awareness campaign, tagged Self-Examination, Saving Lives Through Education and Early Detection, featured teachings, questions and answers, and screening exercise. From Oba Civic Center, Njideka Okoye, ABS News.
From the federal scenes, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Toga, says his administration will work to develop strategic plans for tackling national and regional security to place Nigeria in a community of nations. Ikuajide ABS Bureau Chief filed the report.
Minister who was speaking during a welcome ceremony organized in his honor as minister by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja said he recognizes the challenges facing the region, but his topmost priority is to ensure that the ministry is in the forefront of protecting the integrity of the country. The minister, while citing the Niger crisis, promised to use his wealth of experience to leverage the high standards already established to unveil new policies that will hinge on what he termed the 4 Ds: development, democracy, demography, and diaspora.
In the coming days, I'll be meeting with many of you to better understand the needs of the ministry and develop plans to tackle these challenges. In due time, we'll also be unveiling a new vision for Nigeria's foreign policy. Each and every one of us has a key role to play. These are turbulent times. We have a lot of work to do.
Earlier, the permanent secretary of the ministry, Ambassador Adamo Lamuwa, hailed the minister's antecedents, saying he worked for the interest of the country for the past 6 years. He pledged that all staff of the ministry will support the minister's policies to uplift foreign policies. In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
A group of Rural Community Development Outreach, RCDO, has warned against a plot to blackmail governors of states with the intention of hijacking from them the 5 billion naira subsidy palliative announced for states by President Bola Tinubu. President Tinubu had announced the disbursement of funds to states to cushion the effect of the removal of the subsidies from petroleum by his government. But the group RCDO said it has uncovered plans by some people to hijack the funds from governors while also cajoling them into submission through blackmail and unfavorable media reports. In a press statement by the group's leaders signed by Mr. Ikenna Elias Ezenekwe, the group's Nigerian coordinator, and Mr. Danjuma Othman Mohammed, secretary, the group said the move will impoverish the rural people whom the funds are meant to pull out of poverty. The group said as the nation witnesses an inspiring shift towards rural development and agricultural revitalization, the looming threat to the equitable distribution of the recently announced 5 billion naira palliative has set off alarm bells. It further noted that the 5 billion naira palliative, a key component of President Bola Tinubu's intervention program to mitigate the impact of the oil subsidy removal, is now a pawn in the hands of political power brokers, which intelligence reveals a troubling pattern where seasoned political operatives are leveraging their influence to twist state governors into parting with the funds. The group called on the Nigerian governors to remain resilient and resist any attempt by power brokers in their state to take what belongs to the masses. It mentioned states like Anambra, Bauchi, Borno, and Adamawa as some of those who have begun to take the initiative to rescue their people by marshalling out policies to channel their state's 5 billion naira into agricultural incentives and infrastructural amenities. The group said if the plot is hijacked, the funds works, the ordinary citizens and rural communities of the affected states stand to lose the most. The group calls on the governors, especially Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State and Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, who are already being attacked, to resist them and work for the benefit of the people. Vladimir Putin has addressed the BRICS summit in South Africa via video link. He did not travel due to risk of arrest. He again blamed the West for Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, saying they stalked a coup d'etat in Ukraine in 2014. His address came hours after 3 people were killed by drone strikes in Belgorod near the Ukrainian border. Moscow was also attacked by drones overnight, with 1 skyscraper damaged. Meanwhile, General Sergei Surovikin, who was previously in charge of Russia's forces in Ukraine, has been sacked from his latest role. From the world of sports, the Yimba International Stadium Aba will host the CAF Champions League second leg tie between the People's Elephant and Libya's Al Ali Benghazi. The 9-time Nigeria Professional Football League champions need to score a goal without conceding to seal a place in the next round. Finidi George's side will bank on the support of their home fans in Aba to unsettle the North African side. The Yimba International Stadium got a CAF's nod to host the game after undergoing renovation. Yimba have won the CAF Champions League twice. Before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS TV from many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at ABS Television Oka. Go on to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main points that made the news tonight. Anambra State Assembly is to partner executive arm of government on good governance. Mrs. Soludo has given reasons mothers should breastfeed their babies. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is to unveil new visions for Nigeria's foreign policies. Russia's President Putin has feared arrest, addressing BRICS summit via video link. That's all in the news tonight, but remember, the Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total around maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. That's all. My name is Uchechukwu Ibona. Good night.